Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. I hope you're having a great day. So, here I tend to pay attention to what's in the news as it would affect the Cryptoverse, right? We have what's going on here and now and what's going to have a mid to longer term effect. I leave all of the, metrics and numerations, aspirations, all that good stuff to people that are much better than I am with looking at metrics. I look at metrics every now and then from a reporting perspective, but my own research, my kids' research, we do look at numbers. Trends is what we're really looking for. But let's talk about what's going on right now. We had the merge. I touched on this yesterday. We had the merge, and after the merge, everything just tanked. Everything just tanked. It's not even because the merge didn't go well. The merge went fine, right? Pretty much in a holding pattern. The merge went fine. Holding pattern in terms of, is anything going to shake out? Is anything going to break fix? I heard some rumors, not rumors, but murmurs about, there are two validators that control, 45% of the validations that happened yesterday. Just got started. More validators are going to be added. It's an ongoing thing, so I'm not worried about that. That said, it still was a down day, but it was also a down day because the stock market had a down day, and everything carried through. So it is what it is. There are a lot of macro events going on. Over the past week, you had the producer price index that didn't look so well, but then you had other numbers that did look okay, that look like, inflation is slowing down, but we're getting a mixed bag right now, a mixed bag of metrics that come back. And the fear now is that there's a greater than 10% chance that the Fed raises rates by 100 basis points. For me, I think that's a no-go. I think the bulk of the people out there are thinking it's going to be a 75 basis point hike. What they're truly worried about is the next hike. They're hoping that the Fed will pause for a minute instead of moving right into the next hike. And I would agree with that. Do the hike right now, 75 basis points, and then chill for a minute. Turn around and look at all the numbers that are coming in, because right now what you're looking at are not lagging indicators, but present time indicators. You have to give enough time for those lagging indicators to come through. So there's a growing fear. There's a growing fear that they will overshoot the market and wind up raising rates too much. And that would send the United States spiraling. What's worse is that the rest of the world is already spiraling. We think our inflation is bad. Around the world is far worse. I made a mention yesterday. We've got the best house in a bad neighborhood. It is what it is right now. Traders right now are saying that what they should do is hold on to cash. And with holding on the cash until about October timeframe, that's when they'll be able to make moves. And that actually makes sense. You should be paying attention to that. I know that I'll be looking to, as far as the Cryptoverse is concerned, I'm looking to hold on to a lot of cash because I'm not hoping for, but I think it's going to happen. Things are going to come down even more before they pick back up. Okay? Even if you look at Ethereum as it is now versus Bitcoin, Ethereum realized a certain gain and now is operating within that gain, as opposed to where Bitcoin is, where it's operating in the same space. Now, when I look at that, I sit here and I kind of go, interesting, very interesting. So that means that Ethereum has a long way to go before it gets back to the levels that it was at before. A few weeks ago, that it was around 1,000, but you're still right now above at about 1,400. So that's that. Cool. Then you have the exalted one. Gary Gensler couldn't wait for Ethereum to move over to proof of stake. Because now he's saying, well, now that it's on proof of stake, it's definitely acting like a security, and we'll have to look into that. That's a threat, right? Instead of creating a transparent set of regulations. He's waiting to act. He could have said this beforehand and said, hey, we'd have to consider, if Ethereum would be considered, a security at that point. But listen to what he didn't say. What he didn't say is that would mean that Ethereum, previous to the proof of stake, is not a security. That's what he didn't say. That would also mean that, well, wouldn't that make everything based off of Ethereum not a security too, right? Huh. Interesting. So you've got to think about, well, what are you doing? So my friend Nick and I were speaking yesterday, and we go, this guy used to be the chairman of the CFTC for a little less than 5 years. That's what he did. Did a couple of things before that, but he was an 18-year Goldman Sachs guy. 18 years at Goldman Sachs. So he's got some chops, right? From back then, for the stock market as it was, and then he was trusted to do some things over at the CFTC, and now he's doing things over here at the SEC, just wrecking shit. Just wrecking things. Just, again, I would be a lot happier if he was transparent. In a way, you can say he is being transparent, right? Because he's just going to rule with an iron fist. He's going to continue to go after projects and everything else, because not necessarily bringing facts, but because. Why is that? I think that he truly doesn't like the cryptoverse. I mean, even the Fed chair, Powell, is saying, listen, he's advocating for a CBDC. Why is he advocating for a CBDC? Because then he says, well, we wouldn't have to deal with cryptocurrencies. Dude, what? I get the idea of a CBDC, but the idea of cryptocurrencies going away, that's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. The tech is there. The utility is already there. Everything is already in place. And our government is not moving fast enough to exact that kind of change. So the chances of that, slim and nil. But I really am paying attention to Gary Gensler. He's dangerous. Straight up. He's dangerous. And you have to wonder, what are you doing? He got in front of the Senate Banking Committee, and Republicans were just hammering him. Why? Dude, seems like you're going after the banking industry. Seems like you're going after the financial industry. We already know that he's going after the crypto industry. Hence, that's why Coinbase decided we're going to release this new feature. It's going to be a really cool feature because we're going to help you figure out who in the government is for or against crypto, because it's becoming way more important now. Way, way, way more important now. So when I look at things, I'm saying, well, things are coming to a head. Then you have the White House releasing their framework this morning, saying, hey, we've got some teeth in what we're expecting. We've got a general framework for how crypto should be regulated. All the digital assets, from coins, tokens, NFTs. They want the Treasury involved. They're going to lean on 3 different areas: SEC, CFTC, and the Treasury. I heard someone say earlier that, they don't know that, Janet Yellen has the chops to understand NFTs. Rude. She's a very, very smart people. We're not talking about people that aren't smart. We're not talking about people that don't have the skills necessary to understand what certain things are. It's not necessarily what the problem is. I think what the problem is we need to find out how they feel about those things. Want to regulate NFTs to try to do things like combat fraud? Great. because that's one of the keystones of what the Biden administration has released. They want to tamp down fraud in the digital asset space. NFTs, tokens, coins, the whole process. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. CFTC has come out and said they're ready. I think they said that yesterday. We're ready. They've been saying that. We're ready. And what that really means is, hey, Gensler, you might want to tap those brakes. So as I look at what I'm investing in, I'm looking at more downward trends. I mean, you have a couple of outliers, right? You have Cosmos that, ticked up a bit, and you have Chili's that ticked up a bit. Basically for no idea. Just happened to get lucky that way. People decided we're going to get in on it. Now, they're both pretty good projects, especially Cosmos. But I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, wow, life is becoming interesting. Very. So when I look at everything that's going on, I'm just sitting there and I'm just going, there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of there, as they would say. But let's get to the bad news, right? We know that there are a lot of, bad numbers out there. Sentiment is down to 20, so we're in extreme fear at the moment. I expect us to be there for a little while. I really do. Because there's no catalyst of good news right now. Not yet. When that happens, that's when everything will shoot up. But we don't have a macro event that's saying, here's the good news. So we're going to have to figure that out. Looking at my chart, if you just follow the crosshairs, I know you can't see my mouse, but you can see the crosshairs as I move them. If you look at my chart, you can see I have my green band right here. That's my inner band. And then I have my outer band, which is the blue band. And I've had this in place for a really long time. I mean, take a look. I've had those bands for a while, so I can look at things for a while. And this is what it looks like. We've been operating along that space for a while, for a bit. Okay? But I like to zoom in to see what's going on from a volume perspective, and right now we're at the extreme bottom of my inner band. I think we're just going to continue moving along sideways for a bit. We'll go up a little bit, we'll go down a little bit, we'll go up a little bit, we'll go down a little bit. We'll hit a point where everything goes down, and then institutional investors and big whales and those that have a couple of bucks are going to start buying in again. I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm just DCAing. I recently bought some H-bar. I recently purchased some Stellar. I think those things are going to move. Stellar because it's wicked fast and dang near free for cross-border transactions. So something to contemplate. But you can see the carnage. Do I think we're going to hit 13? Yep. For Ethereum? Yep. The question is, how far do we go? Do we hit 12? I don't know about that. Bitcoin down 19,555. Okay. All right. We can see it. XRP is back up a little bit. You can see Atom, Cosmos up a bit. Matic is taking a hit down at 79 cents. That's not a place where it wants to be at 79 cents. But to me, that is a buying opportunity. But I'm going to wait. Why? Because I'm taking some stock market experience that I've had, and I'm saying, well, you know what? It's sell on Fridays. Friday becomes a big dump. Now, it's different with digital assets because it's 24/7, 365, 366 on leap year. And everything just continues happening. So that's what I'm paying attention to. So I'm looking at Matic hovering just below 80 cents. It doesn't want to be there. It wants to be at 83 cents. So if you're playing short term, you could buy in now and perhaps make 4 cents on it. That's not bad. But it's something to pay attention to. Cardano down at 45. I think that's a steal. I really do. I think that's a steal. I'm going to stay away from anything called Luna, Celsius, Lunc, Terra Classic, anything with those names. Not touching it. Not even thinking about it. Nope. But if you want to look at the list, this does not look good. Right? Nothing looks good. Stellar happens to be maintaining at about 10 cents. Okay. Still down a bit. Could have gone up for me. That would have made me happy. But you see what I mean by Chili's? 7 days, 3.62%. But in the past 24 hours, up 8.16%. So things are happening. It's just not great right now. So the next few weeks, I think we're going to move, laterally, side by side. It'll be all right, but everything will pick back up. But again, if you have a strategy, if you've been putting money on the side, now could be a good time. Little bit. Over time, you start to average, and that's dollar cost averaging. Put that to good use. All right? This is Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell to see if I'm dropping a new video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.